Hello, everyone. I am live. I'm sorry for being late. It took longer than I expected to get home. I mean, unlike most of my haters online, I actually have people that I like to spend time with. Friends. Something I don't think these people actually have. Anyway, story aside, why am I why am I doing inventing reality on gamers specifically? And what the fuck is up with the thumbnail? And what's up with the title? I did that, to be honest, for attention. Yeah, I'm fucking gonna owe up to it because it doesn't really take much to set these neckbeards off. Like, just say something and they'll just fucking lose it. And if you want to go around, for my hate watchers out there, I know you're watching this, so don't pretend you're not. You want to go around and spread the Darth Sinovia, the communist, hates gamers. You know what? Guilty as charged. I fucking hate gamers. They're some of the most sexist, racist, misogynistic group of fucking neckbeards on the internet. And I'm gonna call them neckbeards. And you know what? Hating fucking gamers is not a fucking bad thing. Now, for those who go around like, oh, so if I enjoy video games, that's a problem. No. You can still enjoy games. You can have fun playing games. You can play games. I mean, I'd be a hypocrite. I mean, I play games myself, but I'm not a gamer. I refuse to go by that fucking label because it's fucking cringe, for one. Two, it just reeks elitism. And why would anyone go around and announce to the world, I'm a fucking gamer? Who fucking cares? Seriously? Not to mention, there's some of the biggest entitled crybabies and hypocrites. Oh, oh my God! I fucking, I don't like this XX company, but I still buy their games. Oh my God! Wait, what happened to unlockables? Why is there no unlockables? Why is there so much paid DLC? Well, you want to know why, you dumb motherfuckers? Because you bought it. Okay? You fucking lazy, self-indulgent motherfuckers ruined gaming for the rest of us by simply not just playing the damn game the way it's intended, by instant gratification. You're the reason why there's no alternate costumes in video games. You're the reason why video games don't have unlockables anymore. You're the reason why fucking you have games that DLC that cost as much as the game itself, if not more, depending on the game. It's like, fuck you. And as a result of your freaking need of instant gratification, are slowly pricing out poor people from being able to play video games because everything is so goddamn expensive now, because you fucking people are such fucking cucks that you don't actually make a stand when a company does something unethical, or when they're charging like money for overpriced games. I'm just going to say this for gamers out there. You're the reason why fucking Nintendo and companies like them charge fucking $40, if not $60, for games that are 20 years old, okay? Metroid Prime, a classic, great game, amazing game, one of the best games ever made. Released for the GameCube and re-released on the Wii as part of the Metroid Prime collection. It's $40 fucking dollars. $40 fucking dollars for a game that's over 20 years old. Now, I'm not criticizing Metroid Prime for it's a good game, a great game, but it's 20 fucking years old. No game should cost that much. But it's because of these fucking gamers who instantly buy everything when they come out. I'm not going to say I'm not guilty of it myself, because I'd be lying if I said I'm not. I'd be lying. But I'm just one dude. Like, the buying habits, like, of one gamer affects everyone else. Those who don't have as much income, it's harder and harder to play games because it's expensive. Games are $70 now. Games are littered with DLC. And these companies charge as much money as they can do because they know fucking gamers are fucking, that they're just going to pay for it because that's what they fucking do. It is $40 fucking dollars. And I will say this. It is ethical to pirate games. Don't give me that shit. Oh, no. It's not ethical to pirate games. It's not ethical to pirate games. Yes, it is. It's completely justified pirating games. It's completely justified. No game that old should be fucking $40. No game. No game. Yes. And freaking it's so insane. Like, these gamers are just so they like when you basically tell them about digital physical media, how if we continue to support games fully going digital, we're going to get it to a point where game preservation is going to be harder and harder, and you'll have entire generations of games lost because of these developers. You're literally giving these people all the fucking power. Literally. And why did I even call this video Gamers Are Not Oppressed, But They Should Be? Because gamers have this persecution complex. I mean, how are you getting oppressed? Because you're being called out by women and minorities for your behavior? You're being accountable for your actions is a problem. Being accountable for the choices you make is cancellation. Of course, this is related to other topics, but I'm keeping it related to gaming mostly because that's the topic of this stream. But gamers, I know this shit. Anybody who's played video games, who's been involved in any forums, knows what I'm talking about. How freaking gamers act, the way they present themselves, the entitlement, how they think they're so much better than everyone else because, oh my God, I played this game that's fucking hard. I beat it because it's so hard. It is. Yeah, I never forgot Gamergate. I haven't forgotten Gamergate. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. I went through I think all of us have been through a reactionary phase in our lives. I was unfortunately at that point when that happened, but I'd never fully supported Gamergate because I didn't really care about it. It's just, when you really think about it, some of these people that were criticizing tropes in video games against women, I know this is going to piss a lot of people off when I bring her up in her name, but everybody knows who I'm talking about when I bring up Anita Arkezian. I don't care how you feel about the woman. I don't care if you I think her cognitive dissonance when it comes to racism by basically not acknowledging, what modern Disney does to people of marginalized communities, how they're represented. I think that's problematic, and she never addressed it. But you cannot deny that she was wrong about how women are portrayed in video games. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong how there's a lot of sexism in video games, or how women are portrayed. So you have certain kinds of women that are portrayed as desirable, or there's some coded racism. You have a light skinned character that seems to be more appealing sexually than a dark skinned character. And I'm just going to use this as an example. Like Hyrule Warriors, how Lana, the light skinned characters, seem to be more pure, while Sia just seemed to be dressed in a more sexually provocative outfit. It reinforces, racist and sexist stereotypes. I enjoy the game, but you cannot ignore some of the stuff that this woman talked about. She wasn't wrong. But gamers did not want to hear it. It's like, how dare you criticize my hobby? How dare you say there's something wrong with video games? How dare you? And back then, there wasn't as much diversity in video games as there is today. There wasn't as much LGBTQ representation then as there is now. There wasn't as much positive representation of women then as there is now. I'm not going to lie, things have actually gotten better since then. But you cannot acknowledge that she wasn't wrong. Even today, there's some problematic stuff in video games. Doesn't mean you're a bad person for enjoying some of that content, but you can't just deny that certain games do not have certain tropes that could be interpreted as sexist. I cannot comment on that because I do not understand that. I'm only going to talk. I'm talking about stuff that I understand, but you are correct. But I can't. If I were to talk about it, I feel like I'd be speaking for an experience that I do not possess, and I feel like those who understand what you're talking about more than I do would be more qualified to discuss it than me. I'm speaking in this from the perspective of a cis man because I am not going to speak for other people's experiences. I won't, and if I did that, that would just be wrong. Yeah. It's just, yeah, Anita Arkeesian said some pretty cringy shit. Of course she did. She was an SJW. There's no denying that she was an SJW. There's no denying that. But we cannot deny that she wasn't freaking wrong on some of the things that she said. She wasn't wrong. Now, if we had actual leftists do an actual critique more effectively than Anita Arkeesian, I think we would be in a different situation. But here's the thing: even if we did, they would use the worst. They would use Anita Arkeesian because she's an easy target. Like the amount of sexism that she got for her like videos was like ridiculous and disgusting. I know. I know that. Actually, I did not know that, so that'd be lying. And yet, these people get so triggered when you bring up the word politics in video games. Keep your politics out of my video games. It's like, have you fucking played any of the fucking games you claim to love? Metal Gear Solid, it was anti-imperialist, anti-American. And he was like, oh, no, was it? No, it wasn't. Or, oh, yeah, we know that, but that's all it has going for. You only like it because it pushes your politics. I'm not really a fan of Metal Gear Solid. In fact, to be honest with you, I think there's better stories that push anti-imperialism better than Metal Gear Solid. But that isn't, at least in my opinion. But you cannot deny that Metal Gear Solid is pretty left-wing. Yeah, you could argue that it's pretentious if that's what you think it is. But when you argue that it's basically like a wannabe Tim Cherry, I think that's that fucking right-wing nut's name is. He's just that he doesn't. It's like, yeah, well, you only say that because the guy you pushes the politics you support. Because when people are saying, "Oh, I don't want politics in my video game," what you're really saying is, "I don't want politics that challenge my perception of the world," and that's just illogical. It's illogical. Yeah, it is. It probably is if you look hard enough, but Mario is just, I don't know. I'm not saying every game is political, but most of them are. Like Mario's games is basically just jump and just in complete levels. There isn't really that much depth to Mario games. Now the ones that are more story driven, you might be able to find something, but I don't know. Zelda games have politics in them. I'm referring to like the certain games, but then again, their themes are different. The Zelda, depending on the Zelda game, and I'd have to talk about that like separately. Hell, Fire Emblem, which is a series I've talked about a lot, that isn't without its politics. It's fucking war. Yeah, some Fire Emblem games are not as political as others, but it doesn't change the fact that they are. I mean, they're anti-war. Now, some games are different. Like some games are more in depth in their politics, such as the Talius games with Path of Radius and Radiant Dawn, and probably my favorite Fire Emblem game, Three Houses, which dives deep into the politics of Fodlan and the consequences of revolution or counter-revolution, and how that game basically has characters that represent various ideology. Edelgard represents revolution, Claude represents neoliberalism, and Dimitri just represents liberalism. Well, not liberalism, but you know what I mean. Just trying to preserve the status quo and make a better version of it. But that's just basically what their ideologies are. Of course, if you were to explain to people for Three Houses, but Three Houses isn't political. Well, yeah, I think many people would disagree. Even some of the right-wing nuts out there would disagree with you on that one. You would have people debating about Edelgard, about her ideology, or Dimitri's, or everyone, like in 2023, if that was the case. But what does this have to do with anything? Because these gamers don't know how to fucking tell stories themselves. They basically demand that people tell stories their way. Yeah, Call of Duty is pretty political, but again, we know what they truly mean. But then again, I got off topic really, because I could be talking about these subjects in their own videos. So let's leave the Fire Emblem Three Houses discussion for a future video that I will do eventually. Why are gamers not oppressed, though? Why are they not oppressed? Because I gotta even talk about it, because majority of these gamers, let's be honest here, they're mostly middle class. They're people that they have a decent place to live. Their income is like, even if it's not the greatest, they still have at least a roof over their head. They're able to afford they can afford their hobby. What I basically is saying, majority of these people. And not to mention, yeah, there may have been some social stigma playing video games back in the 90s, but that has long since passed. And gamers being oppressed is so ludicrous that it's a fucking joke. It literally is a joke. Tell me, how it is a hobby that's mainstream? Are you oppressed if your hobby is basically mainstream? How the fuck are you oppressed? Please explain this to me. Please explain this to me, that gaming, which has been basically mainstream since the PlayStation era, how are you oppressed? Oh, wait, some places don't want gamers around? I wonder why people don't want gamers around. Let's see. Because gamers are antisocial, they're annoying. I'm just throwing some facts. They're elitists. They act like they're better than they actually are. They look down on people for not playing a game a certain way or a certain game. And not to mention, fucking gamers they support the status quo in the real world. Like, how many gamers can you name that actually do not support Trump or don't support some fucking right-wing psychopath in fucking America, fucking Russia, or any other fucking country. Name one. I'll wait. But they're not political. They say they're not political. Gamers are not political. Gamers, which are mostly fucking cis white men, let's just be honest with ourselves. Oh my god, Darsonovi is an SJW. Well, pointing out fucking facts about the main demographic of gamers in the US are fucking cis white men. I'm sorry if, let's quote one of your favorite pseudo philosophers, facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah, facts don't care about your feelings. They don't. And why did I do this stream, though? Why did I do this stream? I'll tell you, like, later. But you could pretty much guess, based on my community post in the past few days, you pretty much already know, for those who actually pay attention to my content, even those who hate watch me know. I think that a hobby that is mainstream, that is actually, there isn't really any social stigma. I mean, I fucking work at a retail job and I hear people talk about games. That is funny as shit. I think it's funny quoting Ben Shapiro when you're trying to fucking own a conservative. It really fucking, because they'll fucking shut the fuck up and almost immediately when you basically say facts don't care about your feelings. Because it's fucking true. It's like it's so ridiculous. And gamers, like, the entire messages of various games go completely over their heads. Like, you have some reactionaries that are fans of Persona 5. Wait, the same Persona 5 that criticizes the power structures of capitalism, the same Persona 5 that essentially, like, has one of the final villains in the game, whatever you're playing, the vanilla or the royal, be essentially a fascist. Have a plagiarist be a villain. Basically, talk about how basically what capitalism does to artists, how it steals from artists and claim credit for stuff they never made. That happens under capitalism. Or how the capitalist system protects pedophiles and abusers. Or how capitalism protects mobsters, the lumpen bourgeoisie. Or how capitalism sets people up and murders them. Or how capitalism, I could go on and on and on and on. Like how Persona 5 is like, the whole fucking theme of the game is anti-capitalist. The entire fucking game. Like, it's anti-corporatist, it's anti-fascist. It's like Persona 5 is the most left-wing Persona game of all of them. The game criticizes, what is that term I'm looking for that Lenin said? I'm sorry. It escapes me, but Lenin wrote something about that. Sorry. I know the word escapes me at the moment, but I know what Lenin was talking about. Capitalism. Oh, you've watched my streams and you don't know what capitalism is. I'll just give a quick definition. Capitalism is the private ownership of the means of production. Essentially, who owns the means of production? It's not workers, it's capitalists. Now, Jesus, I have to do it a different. I'm getting sidetracked here. Now, why do I bring up that Persona 5 in particular? Because it is so anti-capitalist that it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous how anyone could claim that Persona 5 is fucking theirs when Persona 5 is against everything conservatives fucking are. The game preaches against the status quo. It's like, what the fuck? How the fuck can Persona 5 be yours? course, fascists will claim things that are there. It's like, well, it's like, oh, but this game is actually criticizing the globalists. Oh, you mean the I'm not going to say it, but you guys know what I'm saying. I'm not going to say the J word, but you know what I'm talking about. Freaking the game itself criticizes opportunism. Tailism. Yeah, the game does a good criticism of tailism. How there was a point in the game where the Phantom Thieves were basically doing tailism rather than actually doing what's right. And I think it's a good critique on that. He's like, you do in revolution in general, you're supposed to do what the masses want, but not tail the reactionary aspects of the masses. And that's what Persona 5 criticized. Now, I don't know if the person who wrote it was a secret Marxist. I highly doubt it. But it's a brilliant piece of writing, how it criticizes capitalism, and I think it does it extremely well. Yeah, it has some stuff that you could probably say that's problematic. Like there is a form of sexism in there. There's no denying that. Then again, it's a Japanese game, so gotta take the good with the bad. So yeah. Then again, you bring this up. It's like, why do you have to put politics into everything? Why do you have to inject your politics into entertainment? I'm not injecting it. I'm analyzing entertainment. My reactionary hate watcher, I'm analyzing it from a different lens. I mean, you're allowed to analyze it from your lens, right? No, it's not. Nothing's perfect. It's made by humans. Everything is made by humanity. So it's nothing's gonna be perfect. And if you like it despite that, then yeah. What is the J word? E, add an E and add a W. I won't say it out loud because I don't want to indulge in it. Now, of course, there's other things I could talk about in video games that reactionaries like for some reason. Oh, but they like it because it's a good game. Yeah, but you claim you only like it because you have superficial understanding of the things you claim to love. Yes, that's exactly the reason why. And what does this have to do with the stream? Why am I doing it? Why? Because okay. I have to be honest with you, I'm really tired of talking about the Wizarding game. I am fucking sick of talking about the Wizarding game. I am tired of talking about the Wizarding game. I am tired of having to explain to anyone that may come to the stream. It's not for, but why it's so hard to not play one fucking game. My God. You're telling me I can't play the Wizarding game? I'm so oppressed. I am so oppressed. Oh my God. It's like, I don't condone harassment. I really don't, but I don't care about the people that, because it's anyone that feigns ignorance about what the Wizarding game stands for, who it supports, why it's controversial. Excuse me, but give me the smallest violin, please. Give me the smallest violin. Now, I do not represent trans people. I'm speaking as an individual. I'm speaking as an individual. I have seen firsthand, no, not in person though, but online of trans people and their supporters getting death threats, calling us groomers, supporters of groomers, pedophiles. And as someone that supports this community, I could tell you from experience, I got harassed by fucking people by these transphobes en masse. In fact, that experience in 2019 is the reason why I've disabled my notifications, because it freaked me out. Having so many people swarm my comment section. It was overwhelming for me. So many fucking fascists, so many Nazis, that to hear these same people who don't suffer through that, who don't stand in solidarity with this community, who don't stand against hate, accept a virtual signal, and when it's time to do so, they get cold feet and they cry and claim, oh, we're being bullied, just because people tell you it's not cool to play the wizarding game. Why? Why do you expect me to care about you, about these creators? What's the reason you can't play another game? Oh, wait, because it's the newest shit that's out right now, and you want the views, you want the exposure. You actually care more about getting viewers and those who support them than trans and Jewish people. The wizarding game, what I'm talking about, is Hogwarts Legacy. For those who don't know, the game that's related to, basically, it takes place about over 100 years in the past in the Harry Potter universe. That's what I'm talking about. Like, the stuff that comes out of this fucking game is just holy shit. Anti-Semitism is so blatant in this game. I don't care. It's Nazi propaganda. Anyone it's like, you want to play this game, don't fucking pretend you're an ally of the LGBTQ community or Jewish people. How do I expect? How can I trust you? And how can anybody, part of these communities, trust you when things get really bad if you can't even do the bare minimum? I stood against hate because it was the right thing to do. And it's, you know what? If you actually think that, oh, we're part of a mob, you want to know who's the real mob? People that harass marginalized people, those who have no power in society. Not those who basically have no power. Those who support the LGBTQ plus community are small compared to people who don't. And it's increasing. And if you think, oh, the people who are doing this, you're just losing support. Losing support? You fucking people never supported the LGBTQ plus community to begin with. If you actually think, freaking seeing an instance of, let's be honest here, cis people getting a mild taste of what the LGBTQ plus community experience on a daily basis, what Jewish people experience. Things are getting more dangerous for these communities. Anti-Semitism is on the rise. So is transphobia and homophobia and whatever phobia you guys can think of against the LGBTQ community. That's fucking going up. And it's all because of people like J.K. Rowling and those who would enable her rhetoric. None of us had any illusions that this boycott would destroy J.K. Rowling. That's just ridiculous. That's anyone that actually believed that was living in a fantasy world. I would love for this one boycott to destroy J.K. Rowling, but that's not how it is. Most people don't care in the first world about marginalized people. They're so indoctrinated with hateful propaganda that they don't see these people as human. And people who think that people are like being hysterical because people do a comparison of transphobia to Nazism against Jewish people. No, it's not hyperbolic. It fucking happened. Anyone that's actually studied the rise of the Nazis like I have, and I'm telling you, I have, could tell you through experience of studying history, the genocide against the Jewish diaspora in Europe did not happen in a vacuum. It didn't happen overnight. It was normalized over time to the point where it was accepted and became legal to murder another group of human beings. But it wasn't just Jewish people that were murdered. It was gypsies and people of the LGBTQ plus community. Don't think it won't happen again. Hate crimes against these groups are increasing. And Darth Sinovia is doing a politics thing again with a thing about gamers. This is not unrelated. If your hobby is more important than the lives of marginalized people, you're not an ally. Stop being a coward and just admit who you are. Anyone that's still in the middle of whether to play or not play the wizarding game, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. It's not extreme to have that position. I've been in too many positions, too many times in other situations where I had people who were in the middle but end up supporting the oppressor. Back when I took a stand against the LGBTQ, when I took a stand with the LGBTQ community with the Scoundrels Cantina's hate, when I took a stand, I did it without thinking. I didn't think about it. I just did it because it was the right thing to do. And my supposed allies all abandoned me. All of them. They all abandoned me. All my supposed allies in the Star Wars fandom abandoned me. Either because they were too cowardly to make a stand, because they don't want to be vertically marginalized in the Star Wars fandom, or they were never on my side and was angry that I took a stand against hate to begin with. They just wanted me to stay passive and be silent. That's why, from that experience, I don't trust people who don't take a stand. It isn't that hard. I'm not part of these communities. But I'm not asking you, or nor are they, anything more than just to do the right thing. The right thing is hard to do. It fucking is. It's never easy doing the right thing. If doing the right thing was easy, then it wouldn't be doing the right thing. You'd be doing the convenient thing. What is actually convenient for you? What's convenient for you is not convenient for everyone else. Civil rights leaders, did what they did was convenient? Did what Martin Luther King did was convenient? Did what Malcolm X did was convenient? Did what the Bolsheviks did was convenient? Was what Mao Zedong did was convenient? No, it wasn't. They took a stand against a violent, oppressive enemy. And what does this have to do with Hogwarts Legacy? Because this is the bare minimum to do. Just not play the fucking game. I don't care about your feelings. Either decide to do it or don't. Don't fucking dick around there or just look for an excuse to not do the right thing. Just choose. At least the people that fucking hate the LGBTQ community, they've chosen to be evil ghouls to support evil people like J.K. Rowling. They choose to be that way. They've made their choice. They've sold their souls to the devil. They've already made their choice. I have more respect for them because they at least have actually chosen to do the thing that they supported. While those who are on the fence on it still, you, as far as I'm concerned, you're not someone that could be dependent on when the time comes. And even if in the future you do just do the right thing and decide to stand with the LGBTQ plus community, it's hard to trust you because of this. Because Hogwarts Legacy is one of the most controversial games that came out. Yeah, that is true. And I will go as far to say that Harry Potter shouldn't be supported in any way, including unofficially. This franchise, yeah, you are free to love it if you want to. I love some problematic things myself, but we should not be giving relevance to this fucking series anymore. Yeah, it makes me sad myself. That is true. And speaking of developers, if people want to throw that card, oh, if you don't support this game, the developers, they've been paid. And even if, let's be honest here, layoffs happen so often in the gaming industry, even if a game is highly successful, that it doesn't matter if it's sold whatever amount of copies that this game is going to sell. It's not guaranteed these people will still have a job in the next game. And let's be honest here, I don't really care about these people. They worked on a game knowing J.K. Rowling was a transphobe. They may not have known at the start of development, but they continue to stay on. They worked on a game that was basically on the protocols of Zion. I don't think I pronounced that fully correct. It doesn't matter. It's an anti-Semitic fucking pamphlet. The protocols of the Elder of Zion. That's basically what fucking Hogwarts Legacy is. You're playing a fucking Nazi simulator. It's like, yeah, it does support fascism. And I'm sick and tired of having to talk about this shit, but it has to be said because J.K. Rowling has support from fascists all over the world. She's been cited by fascists as well in legislation. Yeah, and she supports a pedophile like Matt Walsh and a fucking guy that abused his own wife. Wait, I thought you supported women that survived domestic abuse. Apparently not if you're going to support this fucking guy. Oh, God. It gets worse. It gets worse. And I won't bring up Stephanie Sterling's video on this game. Whether it comes out tomorrow as of this recording or a week from now, it's irrelevant. Who knows what kind of shit I'm gonna find out about. There's stuff I probably don't even know. Anyone that says, "Oh, but this game isn't anti-Semitic," because they don't actually say Jew. It's like, fucking bullshit. No. Ignorance is not an excuse. It's laid out there. If you actually know the history, which most of these people either don't know or don't care. But I just want to play my wizarding game. Why do I have to feel guilty about enjoying video games? Why can I enjoy games guilt-free? Fucking Christ. Oh, God. Fucking Christ. Why can I enjoy something guilt-free? It's quite that simple. Honestly. If you actually care about people, you just don't fucking play it. This doesn't apply to Hogwarts Legacy, but any game that has a problematic like development history, whether it has transphobia or not, it doesn't matter. You stand by you stand by principles or you don't stand by principles. But there's no ethical consumption. There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. No shit. Okay? That doesn't mean we have to support fucking reactionary bullshit like fucking Hogwarts Legacy. We don't fucking have to support this shit. We don't have to. And since we live under capitalism, don't we have alternatives to fucking other games besides Hogwarts Legacy? There's thousands of games you could fucking play. Thousands. You want a school setting with multiple houses? You have 3 houses. I kept saying that. Oh, but it's not a wizarding game. So there are multiple story paths. You basically have the equivalent of the 4 houses in Harry Potter. It's like, who fucking cares? And not to mention, 3 houses is a better game anyway than Hogwarts Legacy will ever be. Oh, you want to play a game where you can roleplay as a wizard? You have Elden Ring as well. Or you can play Skyrim. You have endless amounts of games. But I want to relive my childhood. Well, you could just boot any fucking game you played as a kid and you fucking could get the same experience. It's like, oh my god, but I don't want to. I just want to play the wizarding game. Why do I have to play other games? There's other wizarding games too that are cheaper. Support indie developers. You can support indie developers who put their hearts and souls into these games. You have indie games. Actually, supporting Revolution is optional, actually, in 3 houses. You have a choice between 4 story paths, though. It's more likely 3, because 2 of them are basically identical, but I'd have to talk about that. The 3 founders of 3 houses. The 3 leaders of the 3 houses are not the founders. And I'm not. I would rather talk about that in a separate video. Yeah, and you know what's really hilarious? You had Hogwarts Legacy fanboys trash Elden Ring because there was a meme someone did on Facebook of Elden Ring having 102 spells, while Hogwarts Legacy only had 26. And it's like, who cares how much the game sold? Who really cares how much the game is selling? Oh yeah, the game is successful. Your boycott failed. Anyone that actually thought we would make a dent was you either you deliberately misrepresenting what the movement actually stands for, or you're just doing this for clicks. Nobody here thought the game would not fucking sell. You have to be delusional. And it's not like we did not have an impact. Any of these people that says we didn't is full of shit. This game is littered with controversy. And that's not good for this game's legacy. Nobody's going to remember this game, give or take a month from now. it'll be fucking forgotten as a trash license game. Nobody's gonna give a shit about fucking Hogwarts Legacy. Like anyone that claims like this game's gonna win Game of the Year is fucking delusional. Breath of the Tears of the Kingdom is coming out in a few months. That's probably going to be a Game of the Year contender there. Fucking but Tears of Kingdom's only on the Switch. Yeah, well, it's why would any fucking person, Zelda fan especially, even though I could criticize Nintendo for charging $70, but that's a different discussion for probably a different time. No Zelda fan's gonna want to play Hogwarts Legacy when they have fucking games like that. There's so many fucking games fucking available right now. It's endless, and people are still. Why are we arguing over this fucking game to begin with? Before this controversy, no one gave a shit about Hogwarts Legacy except Harry Potter fans. Nobody gave a shit about this fucking game. Oh, because trans people don't like this game because of J.K. Rowling. Let's support it as spite. How many of these fucking people who bought this game are going to play it to completion? I doubt it's gonna be fucking that many. It's like majority of the people who support this game fucking we're not fans of Harry Potter. Most of them we're supporting out of spite or because the hot fucking new game that's coming out. There's lots of fucking games coming out this year, and fucking Hogwarts Legacy, fucking no one's gonna give a shit about it within a month from now. The last gen versions were delayed, and so was the Switch version. Majority of the sales are basically what this game is going to get. Yeah, Breath of the Wild's fun. Its sequel is likely going to be even better. Like, when Hogwarts Legacy comes out for the Switch, assuming it hasn't been silently canceled and they just haven't admitted it yet, Tears of the Kingdom is going to fucking obliterate fucking anything that fucking... If Hogwarts Legacy comes for the fucking Switch later this year, another game will likely overshadow it. Like, there's so many other choices. It's like, who fucking cares about this game? Yet we still we are still arguing whether we should or should not play this wizarding game. The answer is so simple: no, 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 no. Yeah, the game is fucking. It fucking has a turf involved in it. One of the main developers is an alt-right YouTuber, and Warner Brothers has no problem with that. Which makes me considering not buying any game attached to Warner Brothers in the future. That'll be hard because I love Mortal Kombat, but as someone that that values their principles more than anything else, I don't know if I want to support. I don't want to support Warner Brothers actually, if they're willing to allow it of a openly anti-Semitic Nazi game released and further normalizing anti-Semitism. It's like, why? It's just, this game comes out not too long after Kanye West starts to rant about Jewish people. Like, anti-Semitism is rising, and you have a game like this released with, other than people in the Jewish communities and the people in the trans communities, no pushback whatsoever about the anti-Semitism, which is fucking obvious. It's anyone that fucking says there is no anti-Semitism in Hogwarts Legacy, or we'll just call it fucking Turf Legacy, or whatever you want to fucking call this piece of shit game. It's obvious. You have to be blind, or you just don't give a fuck that there's fucking anti-Semitic fucking shit in it. And any gamer that fucking knowingly streams this game, I don't care if you're being held accountable by your own audience. Hassan, fucking, I think that's what that dipshit's name is. I have no sympathy for him. None, 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 none. Tell me, my fellow viewers, why should any of us have any sympathy for people for being held accountable when their audience are telling them not to play Hogwarts Legacy? Oh, but they were going to play the game in order to raise charity to help trans people. They could literally play any fucking game and do that. Any fucking game. If they really gave a shit, they could have played any other game. They could have played another game that got released that week in order to raise money. But it had to be Hogwarts Legacy because Hogwarts Legacy is the hot shit and we want the views. It's like, why do we have to have sympathy for these people? My empathy is for the people that have been harassed in bigger numbers than people who are just being held accountable. Oh, it's like, oh, this person's girlfriend cried. These people helped made her cry. It's like, I'm sorry if I just do not fucking care. Why is it that when accountability is demanded of people, it's considered harassment? It's considered being canceled? Yeah. I want to ask the question, why is holding people accountable harassment? Because it is not harassment. You could literally stream in any other game. If you wanted to stream something new, there's other games you could do. I mean, there's no way these fucking people did not know about the controversy. I don't want to fucking hear it. Oh, but these people could not have known. Bullshit. This stuff was being reported on everything. If you are on social media, you heard of the controversy. Ignorance is an excuse. It isn't. If you have to have deliberately buried your head in the sand to not know about it. People at my work were talking about the controversy with this game. It's inexcusable. I hope I never have to talk about this fucking shitty game again. Because I am sick of talking about Hogwarts Legacy. I'm tired of it. I've been talking about this game for almost a month. But it's impossible. As someone that talks about entertainment a lot, it is my responsibility to bring this stuff up because there aren't many people out there. Majority of people are just red liberals, just to be generous with them. Or they're leftists, but they aren't. I'm not going to say it. Not going to be a gatekeeper here, but I feel like they're not hard enough. Because to be really hard as a leftist, you are going to be demonetized for sure. And there's a limit. If you're, yes, I fucking agree. I fucking completely agree. And you know what? This oppression these people are suffering from, gamers are feeling like bad people if they play Hogwarts Legacy. No. If you feel bad about playing a game, then just don't play it. Jesus fucking Christ. Or if you do, you could play it in private, okay? You don't have to advertise it. No, I don't encourage anyone to play this fucking shitty game. But I'm just saying, you could literally avoid this completely. Anyone that acts oppressed over this, it's your own fucking fault. It's your own fucking fault. Yeah, I don't care if I curse a lot. I'll try not to. But it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Yeah, I've heard about that game. I've heard about that game. I might check it out. That's the thing. These people don't want to check out indie games because if it isn't a AAA game, they're not going to check it out. Because, oh, the graphics don't look as nice. It's like, yeah, the graphics in Hogwarts Legacy is like, it's like, this game looks ugly. It really does look ugly. What? It's a bunch of brown color. I mean, the game, it just looks ugly. I'm sorry. I don't like Hogwarts Legacy. They didn't curse. They didn't. It's just Stan didn't like it when I said Christ. That's why I was just trying to be accommodating. Though this is not self censorship. I mean, yeah. Jesus. Now, the title of this video is basically clickbait. I think every one of you can figure that out. And no, I don't encourage people to go around oppressing gamers. I mean, come on, it's a waste of time. I mostly do that as a way to trigger like reactionaries because they have this persecution complex. The whole name of the video is basically just to piss people off. Now, this reality that these people want to invent in their heads, that they're being oppressed because people are telling them that they cannot enjoy video games without feeling guilty. Well, I'm sorry if people wanting to keep their dignity is too much for you. I'm sorry if people value their dignity more than you value your entertainment. I don't apologize for that because it's the fucking truth. It really is the truth. It's like when I found out Papa John's, the guy was a fucking piece of shit, I stopped going. I mean, I like the pizza, but I stopped going because I couldn't in good conscience support a guy like that. Not to mention there was other pizza places I can go to anyway. I mean, it wasn't that difficult of a choice. I mean, I didn't go to Papa John's as much. That Chick-fil-A, I never gone there and I don't really care. I'm not into fried chicken. I know people are going to look at me like, "Wait, you don't like fried chicken?" I don't. So that it was a given. Harry Potter was something that, like I said, I do have some fond memories of it, but I gave up Harry Potter because I just couldn't look at it anymore. The movies, the books, more of the movies than anything else. And I even unsubscribed to Harry Potter YouTubers as well because I couldn't engage with Harry Potter. In life, we do have to give up the things that we love or the things that we want because that if we really have morals, we really want to do the right thing, sacrifices are needed. There's one manga series that I hold dear to my heart, Rurouni Kenshin. When it came out that the guy was a pedophile, I didn't know how to react to that at first. because Ronin Kenshin is a series that helped me go through some hard times. But I couldn't, in good conscience, support someone like that. I mean, I still own my manga volumes of Ronin Kenshin. I own the live action films. And a new anime is coming out of Ronin Kenshin. I'm on the fence if I should see it or not. Because of who the author is as a person. Even if Ronin Kenshin itself doesn't endorse pedophilia, the author is a pedophile. And if the reboot of Ronin Kenshin came out before it was revealed that he had JP, not JP, CP, I would have been excited for it due to that series not being fully adapted, or how there are certain parts of the series that took a lot of liberties in the original anime, or how the original anime had some poorly animated scenes that I would like to see the series get a second chance at life. I probably won't see the reboot because I don't know if I want to give any money to the original author. If I do watch it, I'd probably just pirate it because, yeah. Then again, that's a topic for another time regarding Japan, because there's a lot of things you could basically talk about in Japan. How who knows how many of these authors might potentially be pedophiles. So that's why I'm saying, if you're going to if you're going to swear off one series, what other series has that is the author a pedophile? That's what I'm basically saying. But I'm not going to get into that subject right now, because that's not what this stream is about, and this will turn into a different stream. Yeah, well, I think I'm going to end this stream because I'm running out of things to say. Though, I want to reiterate this one last time regarding gamers, Hogwarts Legacy, and everything else. Gamers are not oppressed. They never have been. Not really. Yeah, they may have been ostracized at some point, but come on. What? So you couldn't go to a place because you're a gamer? I mean, come on. Gaming is increasingly becoming out of reach for working class people because the cost of living is going up, and gaming is certainly fucking going up in price. Yeah, you can wait for the price of games to go down, but not every company lowers the price of their games. Gamers are some of the most disgusting, misogynistic, racist people that you could ever encounter. There's so much elitism, and there's a good reason why the spaces are mostly dominated by cis white men, because of the way they treat people of other backgrounds. Yeah, there's people of other backgrounds that do game. There's people who aren't fucking right wingers that play video games. It doesn't change the fact that it's primarily dominated by this type. And just tell me why a group that has more money than sense are oppressed. Oh, but not every gamer is like that. I mean, come on, if you could afford a decently powerful PC, if you could afford to get the newest game consoles when they come out, if you have a PS5 or Xbox Series X, I mean, come on, you're pretty well off. Don't fucking give me that shit. It's like, you're not fucking oppressed. And not to mention, the majority of these people politically align with fascists anyway. Yeah, it's like, go ahead and take this out of context. Darsonovia is calling gamers fascists. Say what you will, but when you're on the side of corporations more than you're on the side of workers who make these games that you consume, yeah, I think it's accurate to call you that. When we are on the side of the bosses instead of the workers, you are not fucking oppressed. You're on the side of the oppressor. When people of marginalized groups are voicing their concerns with a game like Turf Legacy, how this enables J.K. Rowling and fascists as a whole, you're not oppressed. Considering this game, you're on the side of the oppressor. You're putting down a rebellion by an oppressed race in the Harry Potter universe. Yes, you are right about that. Majority of these gamers do not support fucking workers' rights. They don't support indie games, which is made with in better conditions than AAA games. They're antisocial. I don't say that as an insult. I'm being real. They don't know how to socialize with people. They are the stereotypical nerd that people mock, and rightfully so. They're the people that have this persecution complex, and basically, it's funny. These gamers claim to be oppressed who are right-wingers when these same people were being mocked and ridiculed by the very people they support 20 years ago. Isn't it funny how things have changed? Fox News was basically attacking gamers left and right with every time there was a shooting. Yet these same people are on this, basically simp for the same people that basically blamed video games for shootings. These people are the kind of people that shame people who don't have as much disposable income because their PC is too weak. This mostly applies to the PC elitists out there, or people that are not able to upgrade their consoles right away because they're too poor to upgrade, so they have to wait. Most people until to halfway through the generation or to the end of the generation. Yes, it is funny. Yes. Yes, fuck gamers and fuck nerds. I agree. Fucking based. Now, I think gamers should be oppressed. Yeah, I fucking said it. They should be oppressed. They should be oppressed because they're awful. A lot of these people are ghouls, terrible people. They support the worst practices imaginable. They don't support human rights. They don't support the rights of workers. They are on the side of the status quo. They will fight and die for the status quo. They support corporations. When people like Jim Stephanie Sterling, when they refuse to bend the knee, as they would call it, and be their attack dog, they fucking turn on them. These gamers view people like Jim Stephanie Sterling, they only like them as long as they attack the companies they hate. And when they attack every company and hold them all accountable, they treat them like they attack them. They basically say, oh, they've lost their way or they've lost their mind. or say something that has a ring of truth in it. Oh, they hate gamers. Well, yeah, of course, Stephanie Sterling hates gamers. Why wouldn't they? And why wouldn't I hate gamers? I've seen too many examples over the years of these people always on the side of these corporations. They're on the side of freaking some of the worst people imaginable. And yeah, fuck these people. They're not oppressed. They never have been. They are on the side of the fucking corporations. They support fascism. In fact, majority of them are closeted fascists to begin with. And I don't fucking care if you're but you're just painting all gamers under a brush. You know what? I don't fucking care because that's what most of them tend to be. And I hope this is the last time I talk about Hogwarts Legacy. In fact, let's try to make this the final time I address this turf game. If you cannot do the bare minimum for marginalized people in a situation like this, which is nothing, you're not really doing anything that hard. If you can't do something like this for the LGBTQ plus community in the Jewish diaspora, then what will you do when shit hits the fan? When violence against these groups increase? Where will you stand? Well, we know where these ghouls stand. We know that. They would gleefully support rounding these people up in camps. But I'm addressing those who are still in the middle. What will you do? Now, I'm not saying that you're a bad person, but I do find you sus. And I don't trust anyone that claims to be a fan of Harry Potter. I don't. I don't trust you. I don't trust you if you still won't let go of Harry Potter. I don't trust you. Anybody who has anyone on social media, purge anyone that has Harry Potter in their bio, because these people cannot be trusted. Who knows? Maybe the people who are on the fence, they'll stand in solidarity in the future. Maybe those who bought the game may stand in solidarity who are on the fence. But I cannot count on that, nor can I trust you to do that. Actions speak louder than words. And I do not know why people have to be told that. Your actions speak louder than anything that you say. Anybody can say, I support trans rights. Anybody can say that. J.K. Rowling essentially said that. Anybody can fucking say that. It's when you take a stand when it counts is what determines if you genuinely support these communities. You failed that test. Doesn't mean you can't, we're only human. You can't do the right thing the next time you're given a chance. But I'm still going to be skeptical because of this one time you did not take a stand. I'm still going to be skeptical. I'm still not going to trust you. Doesn't mean I won't give you a chance to, because we all I believe in second chances, maybe sometimes a third, for you to do the right thing the next time you're given the chance. I am willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you're going to have to work really, really hard, because whether you bought the game or not and you were on the fence about it, or you bought the game but you claim to support the LGBTQ plus community and the Jewish community, I don't trust you, and they don't either. If you're not someone that these communities can trust, then your word means jack and shit. Trans rights are human rights. Anyone that claims otherwise can fuck off. Trans women are women. Trans men are men. And if you are not willing to acknowledge these people's how they prefer to be named or called, you're a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit. You really are a piece of shit. If you do not acknowledge these people as human beings, you really are a piece of shit. And the choice that I made back in 2019 when I took a stand against transphobia, this was back at a time where I did not have any contact with any trans people. I did it because it was right. Because I had something called empathy. I paid a heavy price for it. It cost me my standing in the Star Wars community. It cost me my support with the EU part of the Star Wars fandom. And any respect that I gained in these circles was gone. That's not a choice that most people would have made. That's not a choice that most people in the state of Star Wars would have made. They would have did nothing. Yeah, there was people that did take a genuine stand, but I paid the heaviest price for it, because I made it no secret that I was extremely left wing. I made that no secret. When I think about it in 2023, God, it's been a long time since I made that choice. I would do it again without hesitation, because as a result of that choice, I gained something more valuable than what I had before: respect. Respect is a commodity that most of these people do not value. They don't want they don't want respect. They want submission. And I gained respect of the LGBTQ plus community for taking that stand. Cis people don't give a fuck. I'm just going to be honest. Majority of people, white cis males, don't give a fuck. They would have gladly did nothing. In fact, most of them did nothing. In fact, these so-called allies of mine said nothing. Oh, they will claim they're allies, but did they really take the brunt of the attacks? Did they get cut off by the Star Wars fandom? I had almost no support. None. Anyone could look at my Star Wars expanded universe reviews before I took the stand, and after. You'll see a steady decline, and the thing that broke the camel's back is when I took a stand against Matt Wilkins. I barely mentioned the guy anymore. When I took a stand against him, it was a hard thing to do. It was someone that I personally respected. In fact, I I owe my channel to him at the time. My Star Wars content wouldn't be where it was if it weren't for him. But even then, I took a stand against hate. You could criticize the way that charity worker, what she did, how she handled the situation with the Phantom Menace. You could say what you want about that. You can. You could even criticize them doing basically doing the 501st, whatever. You could criticize that too. But the 2019 me, I saw a bunch of bullies harassing a charity worker, and that to me was wrong. That was morally reprehensible. And having somebody like Matt Wilkins, I looked up to this guy, take the side of these fucking people without and refusing to listen to our side of the story. As the saying goes, never meet your heroes. Again, I took a stand again against him when he was siding with the Phantom Menace. Of course, I was a fool at the time. I thought I was trying to save the EU community from basically being taken over by these people. But I was I was stupid. I was naive. It was the EU community was already fucking dead. And what does this have to do with what I'm talking about? Because I'm basically describing what the choices that I made that cost me everything in the Star Wars fandom. And it also gives context my lack of Star Wars content after that point. It also explains, those of you who watched Ewoks Unhinged at that time, why me and B Level did so many streams together. I did not know what to do at that time. Now, I do feel like I was set on the right path a year later by someone I view as a comrade who helped me set me on the path that I'm currently on now. But that decision I made wasn't without cost. What I'm basically saying is those who claim to fight for justice, who want to fight for justice or support the fight for justice, you have to make some painful choices. They're not going to be easy. Doing the right thing is hard. It really is. It really is difficult to do the right thing because doing the right thing is painful. You may lose the respect of people that are important to you or people that you idolize. You will find out the kind of person they truly are. You may lose their respect too. And that's something you have to be willing to accept. That it may seem hopeless when you make the choice. It's like it may seem like, maybe I'm talking about myself. Maybe I could have handled that better. But in my opinion, when looking at it from the perspective in 2023, as of this recording, I could have handled it a lot worse. There's the only things I would have done differently is I would not have been so blind and naive. But then again, I would not be where I am today. There was another hard choice I was forced to make. All of you know this story well, but I'll repeat the story for those who are new. Me and B Level had a falling out, as you all know. It was hard. That falling out was difficult. because I thought B Level was a friend. But then I realized he never supported me either. When I thought about it in retrospect, standing against him was hard, but he was doing some unethical stuff. He was allowing Caleb Maupin to spout his nonsense without challenging him. He had cultivated an audience and some associates that were questionable. Some of them turned out to be outright fascists. Every signal associate that fucking B Level, or we could just call him B Liberal, had is a fascist, or to some extent or another. The guy turned out to be a snake. But what happened in retrospect when I took a stand against B Level? I don't want to repeat the same story again, but respect. Again, respect. How you're seeing what I'm getting at here? Respect is something that's more valuable than being popular. Because if you have no respect, you ain't got shit. You really do not have shit. Don't believe me? Look at examples in history. People that have principles, those who take a stand, those who do things despite the backlash from the status quo, they have more respect. Look at Malcolm X. Look at Martin Luther King. Look at Fred Hampton. Look at Huey P. Newton before he went reactionary. Look at Che. What do all these people have in common? They had principles. Yeah, Huey P. Newton did lose his way, but that's complicated. That it is really complicated. But doing the right thing is hard. It truly is hard. And that's why I bring this up. The choice I made was way more fucking difficult than refusing to play a fucking video game. That's why I fucking have no sympathy for these people that cry about being bullied because, oh, how dare these people not let me play a video game? How dare, people dictate I can't enjoy things. Feeding into the right-wing narrative that people that support trans rights are bullies. Those who wish to have their humanity respected are bullies. Really? Really? The same people who all they want, and those who are part of the LGBTQ community, you can speak for yourselves, to be left alone to live your lives, to actually just be left alone in peace. These communities are not asking for anything but to be left alone. But you people don't support that. You believe this, the very mention of someone that doesn't meet the cis white norm is political. I don't care. If you hate me, I have something you don't: respect. And I would rather have respect for the people that support me than have nothing. What do you guys have? What do you simps for these corporations have? What do you people that live there in the middle have? What do you have? You have nothing. You don't have any respect. You have no self-respect either. You have none of that. Even some of my enemies I have some respect. Even if they hate my guts, I'd rather have respect than have freaking nothing. What do you people have to go showing for it? Oh, so a few seconds of fame because you streamed a fucking shitty game. Give me the smallest violin about you crying because not gamers, your audience rightfully pointed out that you were platform being a game that was problematic, that you were playing a game that was problematic, despite it's like I've said this already, but I'll say it again. If you play Hogwarts Legacy, knowing that controversy, you deserve everything coming to you. You deserve it. And if people take this out of context, Darth Sinovia advocates for bullying. I don't advocate for bullying. I just don't have any sympathy for these people. They've made their bed with transphobes. They've made their bed with them. They don't fucking want to deal with the pushback. That's on them. They can't take the heat, then don't fucking play the goddamn game to begin with. Stay away from controversy if you don't want to fucking take the heat. Stop being such a fucking freaking coward and embrace it. I support my trans comrades. I will not play a game made by a TERF. Sorry. Yeah, well, oh god, do I have to get into the tokenism? No. That's not up for me to say. But no, that was not authentic. What a character that barely appears in the fucking game. Give me a break. Yeah, they are. If anything, I've seen more often than not right wingers bully people for not wanting to play the game or wanting to stand in solidarity with LGBTQ plus people. Everything they say is self-projection. In fact, one of my favorite Star Trek memes that of course, this is used a lot. I also say this: every accusation from a conservative is a confession, and it's true. And none of this stuff is off topic. It isn't. And in Attack of the Menace, I'm almost done with this, so I'm not going to continue with this back and forth about Hogwarts Legacy. You either support the LGBTQ community or you don't. Please don't fucking act like you support them. Please don't. Just please don't. Just be honest, okay? I'm tired of having this discussion. J.K. Rowling, I don't care if she was directly involved in the game. I'm going to fucking say this. I do not fucking care if she was directly involved with the game. Her name is attached to it. It's attached to her IP. One of the main people involved in the game is an anti-Semite, an alt-right YouTuber, and Warner Brothers had no issue hiring this guy. All this shit is known. And not to mention, the anti-Semitism in this game is so fucking obvious. And I'm basically going around in circles, so I'm going to end this stream by saying this. Trans rights are human rights. Trans women are women. Trans men are men. And if you are not willing to accept that, if you're not willing to accept these people's humanity, go fuck yourself. Trans rights are human rights.